I am understanding that you guys have been working on the kind of layers of the Anamaya, the body, the Manomaya, the mental layer, and the Pranamaya, the pranic layer, and the relationship to head, heart, and hands. And these three concepts are really important in our tradition, because what you find in a lot of kind of how yoga gets expressed often in the modern world, and this is a generalization, so there's always unique others in there, but a lot of times people are focused mainly just on the physical aspect of experience and where their knee is and how to touch their toes. And there's a plethora of, gym type yoga. Nothing wrong with people getting into it, but it often doesn't include, like I've been to quite a lot of classes where there's no connection to the breath, or there's no connection to what's going on internally whilst you're putting yourself into a pose. Sometimes we might be really focused on just the kind of maybe emotional aspect and connecting to whatever form, of God, goddess, or higher entity. But it doesn't include maybe taking care of the body or taking care of, the breath and the pranic battery, the energy layer. So one of the really unique aspects to the Bihar system of yoga, and I suppose for me that's why I personally just got hooked on it, because I'd been exploring Buddhist kind of tradition and done lots of different meditation things, but it was very it felt mind oriented, the ones I was exposed to. And then before that I was kind of an aerobics instructor and in the gym world, and so I was very physically oriented and very body oriented. And then I started doing massage, and people came to me because they wanted me to make them feel better, but weren't taking responsibility for their own healing process. And so I felt like all these different things I was doing were kind of in some ways often kind of contracted or limited. And when I came across the system of yoga, it was like all the layers together were offered to me, and it was always about body, mind, breath, and higher experience. And not only that, but how can you live it in your day-to-day life? And so for me, that's, at the end of the day, that's what made me kind of grasp me. And I went down this path because I was like, well, I don't have to choose. I can dance and I can meditate. I can be concerned about my body, but I'm also enhancing my energy, and it's focusing on making like a calmer mind state. And so I think that it's a very unique approach, and it is growing, thankfully, finally, but slowly in the modern world. And I feel that for us, having these different practices available. So we've got the yoga nidra for the nervous system, and for going into the deeper levels of pratyahara and dharana, we've got the meditation techniques, we've got the chanting to express ourselves, we've got the hatha yoga, the asana, the pranayama that works on the different layers of nervous system and balancing mind, body, and activating our higher awareness. So with all these different practices, we have a very complete system. And so when we talk about this head, heart, and hands, it's implying the different layers of experience, a practice that's available to us, but also then how to live it. Yeah. So again, often it's like we're on a running machine and we're just physically going, or we're going, and mind's distracted over here, and we don't know what the breath is doing. And so there's like this disconnect within our own selves. And this aspect of Karma Yoga is, how do we bring these qualities together in our daily life? How do we express them in our daily life? So the mind there's presence, mindfulness, that we are connected to the nervous system, the breath, the electrical currents within ourselves, because we talk about it. We say, oh, I feel so low energy today, or I feel really activated today. So it's like there is an understanding of this at some level. But are we aware enough to really be working with harmonizing it within the moment? Yeah, and that's what we want to draw towards gradually, is becoming more and more integrated. I think that's the right word, is an integrated approach, that we know what the body's doing. We're connected to the breath and the energy underlying the breath, and we're connected to that awareness, mindfulness that allows us to use all the different actions of life to keep on growing and expanding and understanding ourselves and our world and our interactions with each other at a higher level. So I'm not quite sure what you've already been talking about, but I just wanted to make that link to, particularly, this is a very unique aspect of our system, of the Bihar system of yoga, and that we are practicing that. That's what we're doing when we go out and do karma yoga. So it's not just like, okay, go clean chakra or go get that wood lot sorted that we've just talked about, all the things we've just got like into really intellectual parts of ourselves. And we have to also, have that kind of awareness, but we shouldn't get stuck there. It's like, now, okay, we've got the knowledge. How do we integrate that and express it in a harmonious way? So that's the inspiration for today. Hariom Tat Sat.
Hariom Tat Sat.